derelict Hackney house for 1.1 million. This house, which is detached in London Fields, is probably quite unique for the area. As you can see though, this house is in quite a state, and that's why we've got the price we have. Some of you might be thinking 1.1 million for a house in that state. Are they ridiculous? Well, if you're in London, you'll know that actually that is quite a good price for a property of this size, and takes into account the awful condition it's in and the amount of work that is going to be required to put this property back into an amazing condition. I think the property is probably unsafe in the inside, so the floor plan is literally 3 boxes just like this to say really what the size of each floor is. So this property is a total of 1,793 square feet, and we've got to work out what is the pound per square foot in the area likely to go for. So I've looked up and down the street and seen what's sold recently, and I'll take you to a house now that has sold recently, and we can look at the size, we can look at the condition and see therefore what this might be worth once fully done up. So this property here sold for 1,415,000 in 2022. Now, as you can see, this does look smaller than the other one. So if we look at the floor plan of this, though it goes back quite a long way and it's got some lovely outdoor space, and I'll show you that in a moment, this total square footage of this property is actually 1,244, so quite a bit smaller than the other one's total square footage. So this property here, pound per square foot, is £1,137. You can see it's done to quite a high standard, and also actually they've done the outside space very well. I wouldn't mind sitting in the garden in a lovely British summer's day. So therefore, coming back to this property, let's do the sums. This property is 1,793 square metres. At a price of 1.1 million, it is actually worth 613 per square foot. The last house we looked at is a size of 1,244 square foot, which makes it a price of £1,137 per square foot. So if you raise this square footage up to be the value of that property, and you could argue it might be worth even more, then that's going to bring the value of this to £2 million. Therefore, even if you spent £500,000 doing it up, it's still a project that you could make profit on. So I think this property is very nicely priced, and I think actually this could be worth 2 million plus after all the work's done, if done to a high standard. And also, could you extend, could you do other things to the property to add even more value and nudge it up to 2.5 million? And I think someone with that view would actually think, yeah, this is a good property to invest in, this is a good property to develop. You just need the money up front to get going. Give me your views in the comments as to what you think. Do you think this is a good price, a fair price, and what you would do with this property? And don't forget to give me a follow.